Know before whom you stand, Da lifnei mi ata omed, are the words engraved in the marble stone above the ark that houses the Sefer Torah in my shul. Know before whom you stand. I had looked at those words every Sabbath for over a decade. But did we really need that reminder? As we pray and bow and bend, we surely know before whom we stand. But then the Sabbath service ends, we rise from the pews, and only our backs now face those commanding words etched in stone, and the exit sign has ever more appeal. Unfortunately, too many of us leave God in the sanctuary once we hit the pavement to take up our more mundane lives. And that, my friends, is where we as a people and a society begin to unravel. For it is not only in the houses of worship that we must be respectful and decent human beings, but in every building. It is not only before God that we must remember to walk upright, but before each other. It is not only on holy days that we must serve respectfully, but every moment and every day of the week. The Torah tells us, "Blessed shall you be when you come in, and blessed shall you be when you go out." You see, those words were not meant to be engraved in marble, but rather they were meant to be engraved in our hearts and minds. This speech, my friends, is about respect and disrespect. We've become such an informal generation, and respect, the very glue that preserves society, is one of the greatest casualties. And I am of the very strong opinion that if we would remember before whom we stand when we come in and when we go out, we would not be a crumbling generation. I think that the lack of respect between individuals is at the core of so much of today's problems, from broken down families to all the low-class rubbish we see on reality TV shows. In this week's Bible reading, Parashat Vayikra, we read that if a person sins, even by mistake, he or she has to make atonement and bring a sin offering. And though who are we to question HaKadosh Baruch Hu? But I always found that a little harsh. I mean, a mistake is a mistake, right? Wrong. Just because someone makes a mistake doesn't mean there are no consequences. If a pilot mistakenly forgot to lower the wheels before landing, if the doctor forgot to give you anesthetic before he used his scalpel, and worst of all, if you forgot to buy your wife an anniversary gift, there would be a serious price to pay. And quite frankly, there should be. Okay, often we make small mistakes, which appear inconsequential, but even those need to be met head to head, because as they say, a stitch in time saves 9. Relationships don't crumble overnight, not with people nor with God. They deteriorate ever so slowly, grain by grain, if you let them. And one day, you wake to find a pile of sand and rubble where a relationship used to stand. I was walking in a shopping mall once when I heard a little girl, probably age 9 or 10, tell her mother to shut up. It was obvious that her parents didn't catch the first stitch, and the whole tapestry of respect between mother and child was unraveled. For I'm sure that there were mistakes, so to speak, of rudeness which went unchallenged prior to that episode, of a kid having the nerve to tell a parent to shut up. I have seen brides and grooms read their vows with much love and devotion, and just a few years later, these same people call each other every name under the sun. How did that happen? When did it happen? No one saw it happen. As we let our guard fall as to how we speak to others and how we let them speak to us, even in a joke, these tiny leniencies that may not make a dent in the moment end up digging our own pits. Yes, we must bring figurative sin offerings even for our mistakes, so that we will always remember before whom we stand, and thus spare ourselves a devastating and mighty fall. My friends, this speech does not come with batteries, but I sure hope that you will try it at home.